What you wear, Push?
Welcome to Slim Nation's One-on-One Podcast with conversations featuring the host, James Slim Overton.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Slim Nation's 101s podcast. I'm James Slim Overton, and I'm here with guest Cheryl Wilson, and she's a frequent guest. She's been on here many times and talking about being a parent of an adult person with autism. And she has an annual event that's coming up this Saturday, and I attended both of them. The
Yes.
last one I was late, but
It's
I
okay.
was there, and I plan to try to make this one. I have something else is going on that day, a cleanup in the community, so I'll try to divide my time between the both of them. But I'm gonna try to be there at the beginning of the walk. But anyway, Cheryl, good morning.
Good morning.
And anybody watching, some people were expecting us at 8 o'clock, and we had some technical difficulties, but we are here. So welcome to the Facebook Live people and the people live on our YouTube channel, as
Yes.
well as on, let's see, the Slim Nation Facebook channel and X, which used to be Twitter. But
Mhm.
so first off, before we talk a little bit about being an adult with uh, adult child with autism, um, talk about in the beginning the event that's coming up Saturday.
Yes, I'm so excited about this Saturday, our third annual autism walk for the community. I just want to continue on spreading awareness about autism within our community.
Yeah, and it's called the Finney Families First. And pronounce your daughter's name?
Shaquina Mullen Foundation.
Shaquina. I just didn't want to mess up.
Okay.
Shaquina Mullins Foundation, and it's the third annual Walk for Autism. And
Yes.
talk about the involvement of the Finney family and how and why they're involved, because they're a big part of the name of the actual event. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. Well, as you know, Desiree, is my best friend. We've been best friends
forever.
all forever, all life, all our lives, honestly. And they was my first sponsors, and they every year they go above and beyond for Shaquina Foundation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. They every year they go above and beyond for Shaquina annual autism walk, and this year is no different. But this year I have more sponsors this year.
So it's
Um,
growing every year. That's a good
yes,
thing.
yeah,
Hmm.
I see a big difference because when I first started, I only had two sponsors, which was Desiree Foundation and also Creation Dance Studio. And so now this year I have what 11 more sponsors this year.
Wow, wow, that's good, and that really helps the foundation. And
It do.
and talking about Desiree and how far you all go back, uh,
Yes.
you know, even when you all were youngsters and Sequoia was real young, Desiree helped you out, in taking
Nope.
care of her, and still comes around and does that, even with her busy schedule. But that's
Yes.
what friends are for. That's
That's
how
right.
friends uh, dedicate themselves to each other. And I'm sure she's been a blessing, and as well as the whole family, you know,
Yes.
lending her name, her foundation's name to your cause.
Uh-huh.
And that's a good thing. And you said you got 11 sponsors. Wow, that's a big jump from
Yeah,
2 to 11.
I'm so excited. When I say God has sent some good people my way.
Mm-hmm.
good people my way, and I'm thankful. I'm so thankful and blessed for it.
And
Yes.
it's all about getting the message out to the people, and they seeing what you're trying to do, and what you're trying to do. I remember from the first walk you had, and several other times we had conversations here on either Coffee Talk or here on the Slim Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you just talked about you wanted to bring awareness because for a long time it wasn't that anything for adults with autism. Most of the concentration was on children with autism and all different spectrums of autism. But those children grow into adults,
Yeah.
and we very seldom hear about them. So that was your real reason for trying to
Mhm.
bring awareness to it in the beginning, trying to
Right.
find help. So how's that going? Even though you're getting all these sponsors now, and this is your third walk, uh, and which I'm sure is the third of many more. Uh,
Yes.
this is something that you dedicated your life to because that
Yes.
is your child, and
Mm-hmm.
plus there's other people out there like you that
Exactly.
have
Mm-hmm.
children that are adults. I say, and that sounds kind that have adults that have autism,
Autism.
no
Right.
longer children, but in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ways, some of them are children. It depends on
Yeah.
what spectrum they're on.
Right. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, your main thing. So, how is it going? You're bringing the awareness and you're getting the sponsors. Are you also getting the attention of people that might have programs for adults with autism?
I can't even really speak on that, and as of right now, I ain't even too worried about that because that's what I started the foundation for. I'm if ain't nobody out here gonna make a difference, I'm gonna make the difference.
Right, right.
So that's my main goal. That's my mission, my passion, and my vision to make a difference for them. If I have to start my own thing, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. So this foundation also has a purpose of down the road creating that kind of help that some uh, parents like yourself might need, and
Mm-hmm.
even like you're creating it now, it might be some parents with young kids that have autism, and if they're on that spectrum where they're going to grow into adulthood in that same spectrum, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to need that help. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
all these things will come together at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, hopefully. But what a great dedication to this. And, just talk about the spectrum, the different spectrums of it, because there are some people out there that have autism that most people won't know that they are
Exactly.
autistic.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some, like it's evident that there's something going on. So,
Mm-hmm.
where is your daughter on that spectrum?
She's on the lower level of the spectrum. She's level 3. They the ones that's nonverbal with aggressive behavior problems. And also she has sensory overloads with different, certain material clothing. And they the ones that people really don't want to be bothered with. The ones
Right.
on the lower spectrum. Because they be thinking people always looking at the people more on the higher level of the spectrum.
Hmm.
But forget about the one that's on the lower level of the spectrum, and the ones on the lower level on the spectrum, they need the most support of all the whole spectrum. They need the most support, and they have been forgotten about. They
Yeah, and
really
that's
have.
right. I guess they look at the people on the
They do.
higher spectrum that there are things that they can work with them with, and the most difficult ones, especially if they get into adulthood, and it might be of certain size where it might take a little bit more physical effort with them at
Mm-hmm.
times. You never know. So what if they're diagnosed that, and I remember you talking early on, uh, you pretty much had to diagnose that it was something different about your daughter.
Yeah.
And because, as we talk about the healthcare system now, and especially with Black women trying tell their doctor something's wrong, and they say nothing's wrong, and then you find out later.
There's
Sabrina,
something wrong. Right.
Serena Williams went through that. She knew
Mm-hmm.
something was wrong, but they, that goes way back to think that black people are strong and the women, they don't listen to them. And so I guess it was the same with you in the beginning. You knew something was different about your daughter, but you didn't get the right response from the doctors or the medical field at that time. So
Oh, I did.
where some help could have been put into place early on.
Right. Right.
Might not have. I don't know if it would improve her condition, but it might have helped you out a lot in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning.
Right. And then when it come down to the doctors, also they scared of them, especially the ones like my daughter. They scared of them, and the healthcare system need to get better too because they get misdiagnosed because some are nonverbal and they can't tell you how they feel. So you take them to the doctor. They really can't even diagnose them with anything because they like I'm gonna just use my daughter for instance.
Mhm.
I mean, she ain't gonna let strangers touch her.
Right.
So that's gonna be a struggle just for her to even open her mouth or let the doctor look at her ears. I mean, it's just a struggle. So they
Mhm.
get misdiagnosed. And it need to be something done about that in the medical field too.
Yeah, it
It
needs
really
to be something in place for the adults with autism because it, in a lot of cases it might not always be a mother like you or your like your other daughter around to help out.
mm-hmm.
And then where are these uh, adults with autism be? I mean, what position are they in? What do they do? I mean, what is set up for them? If they have no one around, and that's a possibility.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
It is.
some people voluntarily don't want to deal with it, and
Mm-hmm.
some people unfortunately might no longer be here.
Right,
And
exactly.
then it has to be something in place to provide
Mm-hmm.
for those that outlive their caretakers.
Right, exactly. And that's one thing I wake up on my mind every single day. Like,
Hmm.
what would happen to my baby if something would happen to me?
Yeah.
What would happen to her, which I know she's gonna be okay. For the
Mhm.
family, they gonna step in, she gonna be okay. But I know people ain't gonna do what I do.
Right. But as a mother, like and you said it all, nobody's going to do like you do. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's so important for people to support what you're doing, the foundation. And I've noticed you have a lot of presence now on Facebook and it's up there a lot. And that's probably why your sponsorship increased because when we
Yeah, it
talk
helps.
awareness,
Mm-hmm.
awareness means you have to make people know
Aware.
what's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
that presence on Facebook that you've been doing and showing and just repeatedly putting information up there,
Yes.
that probably had a lot to do with the people stepping forward and sponsoring what you're doing
Yeah, and
in the
it did.
foundation.
It did. And then I also had a lot of people that some people that I do know that they knew other people and they reached out to me that way too.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that
So
that
I mean,
all of it played together and helped out a lot. All of it did.
so is there anything in place now? I think we talked about this before for somebody that's diagnosed, on the lower end of the spectrum, especially, because certain people can be classified as disabled, and certain funds, government funds, can be, available. So is that something that you could apply for, depending on where you are on the spectrum? I know in other circumstances that's the case, but what about autism? Is that true for autism, especially on the lower
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah.
spectrum?
Yeah. They finally added that to it. They finally did.
Oh, okay. So
They finally
it
did.
is it a difficult process because some people give up. Sometimes
Mm.
that government red tape can be
Yeah.
kind of exhausting, and people give up and say, forget it.
Yeah, I mean, it's anything that you trying to do, it ain't gonna be easy no way. It's not.
Hmm.
It just ain't gonna be easy. But I could say this that if you know something is not right with your child, go out there and seek the help. It's everything is a process. Everything ain't gonna happen overnight. So
Hmm.
you just got to you just gotta hang in there and respect the process of it because it's not gonna happen overnight. That's impossible.
Yeah, that's with anything with the government. There's just so many
Yeah.
steps you have to take. You just have
Mhm.
to be patient, and if it's out there for you. But and then again, a lot of people don't know it's out there. So
It
I
is.
guess that's one thing that your foundation will be good for. And I think another thing, and I'm sure you have this on your mind that be a part of the what you're trying to do with your foundation, is to have that connection with mothers or fathers or parents in particular that are like you. Sometimes you might those parents might need to get together and just have those conversations,
Yeah.
because a lot of times in those situations you can feel like you're alone. You know,
Yeah.
why
You can't.
me, or am I the only one going through this? And then
Yeah.
you're probably finding out now that it's a lot of people out there that's going through the same thing and don't know what to do. They just, just do what comes natural to them. They just take care
Mhm.
of their own. But
Yeah.
sometimes you need to get away and have that conversation with someone that's going through the same thing, because
Yeah.
nobody else can understand it like people that are going through the same thing.
Yeah, and I always say that. I look at it like this: be that friend that you needed at the beginning,
Hmm.
to the next person, because it's gonna help you along the way. Just by that's how I feel about myself. By me, my baby 32 years old now. By me been through so much,
Hmm.
this
In a
dealing with,
short time, you say
with
32.
with all her situations. So I I have learned a lot in 32 years.
Hmm.
So whatever I know, if somebody need help, I'm gonna help.
Yeah.
You know, I help anybody. I help you. I know a lot. I have learned
Yeah,
a lot.
I definitely can see and feel your dedication there. And it's probably something, it feels like it's something that you would be doing even if you didn't have an autistic child, if you knew about it, or it would be, if it's not in that realm, it would be somewhere else, because,
Oh yeah.
it's probably
Oh
just
yeah.
in your heart to help
Yeah.
out people.
Yeah. That's how
I
I
think
am.
the last time we were on, when your daughter was on, and we talked about, I asked a question about how people accept, I think it's better now, but how people, when you go out into the public, because that can be an issue. People are, autistic people that are certain ways, sometimes loud noises can affect them, or if they feel like, and they don't know how, they might not know how to take, somebody might say something and they mean well, but it doesn't process with them, and sometimes So how do people, when you go out in the public, how do people accept or treat you all? Because I know in some cases people can be cruel to what they don't know,
Right.
you know,
Right.
until they do know, and some people never, they just mean in spirit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But how is it when you all go out there? Because the awareness helps people. You know.
I tell you one thing, it has got better, way better than when my daughter was younger. Way better.
Oh, okay. It used to be
A lot better.
a little tougher, where people would
Yeah, when she was
stare
young.
or tell you,
Oh,
"Can't you control your child?" or something like that, not knowing, you
yeah.
know, what the
Mm-hmm. And that's
situation was.
right. And that's another thing I want to spread awareness about too. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know, but don't be so judgmental. Don't judge
Right.
something you don't understand. If you don't know, ask questions instead of being so judgmental about everything. If you don't know, ask questions. That's just how I look at it. Because I tell you, I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Just ask, or
Hmm.
like I said, we keep using the word awareness, and if you are aware, that this is a situation out there, then you wouldn't be, and you come across it, you'll be more understanding of what's
Right.
going on,
Right.
rather than trying to judge somebody right away. Say, well, can't you handle your child? And you
Mhm.
don't know that might be a task for that parent. Yeah.
True. When I tell you,
And you
Mr.
might,
J,
yeah,
when I tell you, it's the task. All of it is a task.
yeah,
Every 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 inch of it is a task. Everything. And this what people don't understand. I also have two of my sponsors own their own hair shop, and the other sponsor is a barber. So they gonna donate their time to do two free haircuts for me and do two free hairdos for me for the autism community.
mm,
Because a lot that's just a struggle to even take them to go get their hair done or take
yeah.
them to go get their hair cut, even take them to a doctor appointment. People don't know. If you
Yeah,
don't know,
most
you
people
don't
can't
know.
imagine, and they never, it, some people might think they have unruly kids, but they just don't know
They don't
the
know.
extent of a child that's on that spectrum, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
most people might not be able to deal with that, but
yeah.
you deal with what's dealt to you,
There you
as a
go. There
parent,
you go.
as a loving parent, because
There you
like
go.
you said, how difficult it might be, but it is a labor of love, you know.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It most definitely is. Most
so.
definitely is.
Saying that, Cheryl. So how do you take care of yourself? Do you make sure you take time out for yourself, because it can be a strain on you too, and you have a life to live too, and you want to make sure that you are healthy and sane. So sometimes you have to take that time out for yourself. And is that something that you do and take care of, Cheryl?
I, I, I do. I try. I do my best. I try. I try. I mean, that's all I can do. I try. I have got better though. I got
Yeah.
better. A lot better.
Yeah, because I believe as this foundation grows, and you can tell me what are your aspirations about the foundation and where it might be in years to come. Because it looks like it's growing. The sponsorship leads to you know much needed finances that can go directly into the foundation, and no telling what that can be. That could be a building, it could be a billing or offering of bringing in people
Hmm.
that are in the same situation, and
Yeah.
people that are really, really dedicated to caring for
Right.
adults with autism.
Right. Yeah. See that's my whole vision right there is to create a special place for them after they graduate high school because there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
you're right,
nowhere.
and
It's
and
no. It's
and
not. It's nothing for them to do, especially the ones on the lower level. It's nothing for them to do. Don't nobody want to be bothered with them. They
and,
human
and
beings.
and as you get the message out too, it doesn't have to be just the adults on the lower spectrum, on all of them, even the
On
high
all
level
the
ones,
spectrums.
because even they would understand a lot, and
Right.
you want to have them a part of the foundation as well.
Yes. So
The
do.
ones that are functioning,
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent, and
Hmm.
they probably would be your best people to have have
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
because
They you know what they hard work. They work hard too.
yeah,
Mhm.
on you seen and on that high level, and you don't even know they have autism, but any employee will tell you they're their most dedicated
They
workers.
work. They are because
Yeah.
they so determined. They gonna kind of work on time.
Well, once
They
they
gonna.
know they have a task to do,
Mhm.
nothing can stop them from doing
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
We all should be that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess it's going to be important to have all of them, and not just just don't. If you have kids on a higher level, uh,
Hmm.
and they grow into adults as well, and
Yeah.
make sure you bring them to the walk for one thing, so you can get to
That'd be
know.
nice. That'll be
get to
nice.
know Cheryl and get to know each other because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who would better understand
Right.
and
Because
help
they
you spread the word.
exactly because the ones even on the higher level, I mean, they go through things too. They
Mm-hmm.
go through a lot because they just want to be accepted, and a lot of them commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And in this world, this world have to have a better understanding of autism. You know, but they people they want to they the ones on the higher level they get bullied a lot,
Yeah.
and it's not right. It's not right. You don't have to be cruel to nobody if something wrong with them. That's not right. And
Yeah.
they
And that
just
happens a lot. And, you know, and the education about, you know, autism has to start early. You know, you have to teach your younger kids
mm-hmm.
about that so they won't grow into bullies. You know, I mean, that bully thing is hard on people, on children anyway.
Wait, right.
And just to think about you bullying someone that can't always take that, or you know, some kids might be bullied or talked about, and they say, "Oh, forget you." But
Mm-hmm.
some people that have autism, they don't know how to reason that out,
They don't.
or
They
say
don't.
forget you. You know,
They
they
don't.
might react violently, or they might come within themselves, and then you can't get to them. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
So
said your daughter, you know, she doesn't respond. She doesn't like to be touched or anything like that. So it all depends. I guess she
it
has a
depends on
moment.
who it is. I know when it come down
Yeah,
to the doctor, she see the white coat. It been a problem like that since she was little. When she see the white coat, it's a problem. And then I had a lot of her doctors would
most
take it
people
off.
have that problem. Sometimes I see the white clothes, I have a problem because I said something's going on. So he might
Yeah.
find something I might not want to know. But
Mhm.
I'm joking now. But yeah, but
Yeah.
that that's something that's in her that you know that's not a good sign if she sees that white coat, huh?
Yeah, and she had quite a few doctors taking they'll take it off.
Uh-huh. They
Oh.
understand, you know, yes,
Mhm.
yeah. That's all a part of that awareness too, you know.
Yeah.
The doctors have to know too what to do.
Mhm. Also, I got the Portsmouth Fire Department coming out, Lieutenant Sharice. You know Sharice?
Yeah, Orton, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or Arton.
yeah.
Yes, they coming out. Fire department gonna come out.
So talk about that Saturday. So it's scheduled from 10 to 3. So you start out at 10 with the walk and where's the walk? Is the walk it's gonna be at Churchland Middle School and
Mm-hmm.
were you walking around the track or
Yes, walking around the chat. This year we got the band too. We got Mr. Hines, New Generation.
okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
familiar with him, and then I think you're gonna have some dances like last year. You had some dancers.
Right, right.
The only thing last year, the dancers, it just took a little while for them to get started
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
gym. But
yeah.
once they got started, it was entertaining. But so
Mm-hmm.
is everything gonna be on the outside, or you some of
The
it's gonna be in the
walk,
gym like it
the
was
walk
last year?
part. Mm-hmm. The walk part gonna be on the outside. The walk. If it don't rain, I don't think it's
Hmm.
supposed to rain. The walk part is gonna be on the outside, but everything else, the rest of the event, gonna be in the inside. We have also have vendors too.
Okay, okay.
So it's gonna be in the inside.
So if I come there and I'm a little hungry, would it be something? Will I be able to get something to eat?
Well, McDonald's one of my sponsors,
Oh,
so
okay.
they doing my breakfast for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So you better
so
get there on time because
that's
I'm
all I can say. Cause when it's
sure you're
gone, it's
going to
gone.
eat. Yep, you're going to eat and walk it off. So if you come late, all that breakfast might be gone. So
I don't know what to tell them, but if you ain't on time, then I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, well, that's on them. That's on the people
Yeah,
coming. That's not on you.
I ain't worried about
So
that part.
yeah, it's going to be a great event. So how what kind of response are you getting from the city or any city officials? Has that come around yet? I think one thing, because on that day, Saturday too, they having a city-wide cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's going to be based. Most of the community is going to be in their own neighborhoods cleaning up. But that
Mm-hmm.
that that usually draws a lot of attention from at least the elected officials. So,
Mm-hmm.
but in the past, but you know, they know how to multitask, be at one event and then come to another. But I'll go back to the question: what kind of response have you been getting from the city or elected officials as far as maybe
Actually,
partnering with you at
I
some
have.
point?
I'm not sure if they're gonna come out, but I know I did reach out to the police department
Mm-hmm.
and telling them my concerns about how I feel about it's a lot of the autism community getting killed also. So
What,
I
what,
would
being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or people just taking advantage of them, or just
sometimes be in the wrong place at the wrong time or getting just like the little boy. I don't know if you heard about it, the little boy that got killed in California. He was autistic.
mm,
He was having a meltdown and his mom called, but she never told them that her son was autistic. So when they got to the house, he had some kind of like garden tool, some kind of weapon. And
mm-hmm.
the police officer told him to put it down. If he don't put it down, he was going to shoot, which he didn't put it down. And they killed him.
Oh wow, yeah, and that's been an issue too because we've had some situations right here in Portsmouth where someone has been killed that I don't know if they were dealing with autism, but they had some mental issues, and I think one of the things Portsmouth was trying to do, and it's good if you have the police out there, was trying to work with behavior services on a call like that. If a mother calls or something like that, and lets them know, look, I'm having the issue with my son or daughter, and they're autistic or they're having mental issues. So and hopefully that prompts them to call a social worker to come with them so
Right.
they can assess the issue. Because a police comes out there on the call like that, he doesn't know yeah,
Right.
unless
Right.
he's told. And sometimes if he's told, he's not trained to deal with people like that. He's gonna come, like you said, the Californian thing and say, put your weapon
Mm-hmm.
down. That's all he knows what to do. And that
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't respond to commands like that.
Right. And this
You
this
know,
little boy he was only 15 years old too.
yeah.
15 years
It's other
old.
things you can do, and
Yeah, but I
sometimes they can be talked down, or you can,
right.
and,
It is. It's a lot of
and
things. It is. But I did talk to the police department and actually I'm not gonna be able to do it this year, but come the next walk, um I'm gonna team up with them about how to work with the autism community.
mhm.
I'm gonna team because they got back with me kind of late this year, but they say they were gonna send me some officers out there. But I'm gonna be able to team up with them after this walk here. Just show them how to work with the autism community because it's all different kind of levels of it. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
but
they can help save somebody's life. Yeah.
yeah, it might be some things. I mean, you can do as far as we getting back to the awareness part. Even some, like uh, Norcom has a parade every year, and just have a car in the parade and sign on there said parents with adult, you
I
know.
said I was gonna try to get us in the parade this year. I said
See,
that too.
yeah, you got that, and you got the Memorial Day parade, and
Uh-huh.
it's just a matter of signing up and
Yeah.
getting the card and put the sign on there, and
Mhm.
just riding down, and people see that whatever it takes, just to get that word out, and so
Mhm.
people will support you for one thing, and probably join in on your efforts. The
Mhm.
more people working with you, the better. You know.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
And this is just the third year, so
Yeah.
and you've
Yeah.
seen some strides since the first 2 years. So
Mhm.
you always
Yeah.
get nice support.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you be doing, and I'm seeing the growth from that first that first time I came out to Churchland, you know,
Mhm.
and you've always had no problem talking about it, expressing yourself, and that's the one thing, communicating and letting people know. And
Mhm.
you don't sugarcoat it. You don't say, "Oh, everything's fine and dandy." Hey, it's rough.
Oh, because
You
it's
tell them,
not.
Yeah.
It's not. It
Yeah,
ain't
it's
easy.
not easy. Just some of the videos you put up there too are kind of funny too. Like the one you said, "Can I use the bathroom?"
I can't do
And
nothing in peace.
yeah, and it was funny, but the message got out. Say this is
It
what
was funny.
Yeah,
I always say I'm gonna laugh through my pains. It was
yeah.
funny. The struggle be real every day, every day, every day,
Yeah,
every
and
day.
parents understand that when they have little kids and you try to do something, you can't go to the bathroom. They always coming in there, but they don't think about this almost like the birds, and when their kids get old enough, they just push them out the nest. But you can't do
Uh-huh.
that with
Ain't
an adult that has autism. You
sure
know,
can't.
they're connected with you for life, and the commitment
Yeah.
is there for life.
Uh-huh.
So I like the way you're approaching it. You know,
Thank
uh,
you.
we
Thank
don't
you.
see those struggles, but I can imagine what
Yeah.
what what you have to go through to do that. That's why my respect for you is the
Thank
highest. And
you.
I always
Thank
try, and you can come up here as often as you want.
right.
And probably bring you on more times during the year because you got to keep pushing that message.
Right.
uh,
Right.
and let people. A lot of people know about it because I looked up. It's a lot of videos about autism, but most of it is about the ones on the higher spectrum.
I
It's
told you
not a
that.
lot about
The ones on the lower ones is
the
not.
ones on the lower and what people have to do with it. Because that's why I said I'm watching those videos, and if nobody told me, I wouldn't have known these people were even autistic. That's how high level they are. But the
Yeah.
issue is there. But you don't see. I don't guess they want to show you, one of those episodes that they might have, and then you have to deal with that, you know, physically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I tell you
and
one thing. I ain't gonna hide nothing. I'm not hiding nothing. I'm not gonna hide anything.
right. Well, people have
This
to
is
know the truth,
my life.
and,
It's
and people real still support it. They won't back away. Like I said, a lot of people. Well, my issue, how I identified with you because I think I told the story. We had a way the communities were back in the day. We had a guy in the community, and if he got out and got away, we just ran and caught him and took him back home. It was a community thing. We thought
yeah,
nothing of it.
right,
It was the village, and everybody knew. He had the issues he had,
right,
and
right.
you know, and then it got and this is one thing too. Cheryl, probably your foundation is leading towards because it got to the point the parents got old and was too much for him. He had to be institutionalized.
Yeah, yeah,
And and that's why I asked about earlier. I asked about if one of the parents is not there, you know, it should be some things in place
right.
other
It
than
should.
institution. Being put
Yeah,
in
that's
an institution.
right. Cause that's how they used to do it way back then.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
you know, and not even looking at the spectrum back then. If they showed any signs of it, that's where you went. And that's why
Yep, that's
Central
what they
State used to
did.
be crowded. And
Hmm.
and and some autistic people or people with autism didn't need to be there.
No, no, because you could even though my daughter is on the lower level of the spectrum. mm, mm, when I say intelligent,
Hmm.
right, smart, it's just that she learned in a different way.
Right.
That's just it. That's it.
Just
That's
just like anybody else. I mean,
yeah.
they found out
Mm,
later that a lot of kids in elementary school learn differently. They
mhm,
were wondering why. It's like you coming up in elementary school and you start out in the second grade with somebody, and then by the time you
mhm.
get to somewhere else, that person is not there, and they still, because they learn different.
Yeah, yeah,
And it wasn't like they weren't as able as you were, but they just learned different,
right.
and
That's it.
and they were failing not because they couldn't do it,
Right.
just because they learned different. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same way there.
Yeah.
So give the date out again before we go off, and what people can expect that come out there. It's just a thing of being a part of something that's good, that's going to help
Mm-hmm.
families and mothers and fathers of adults with autism, and those
Mm-hmm.
particular adults too. Because I mean, the parents know that they have a certain amount of love. I mean, and they just can't always communicate it. But the parents know when they're communicating
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you
it.
know your child. You're gonna know you know child
You know
anyway.
your child, right?
You know them anyway. You just
Yeah.
gonna know them. Yeah.
But again, talk about the Finney families first and
Shaquina.
Shaquina, Shaquina Mullins Foundations.
Yes. Okay. So y'all come on out April the 20th, this Saturday at 10 a.m. Churchland Middle School. This event is called the Day of Fun for Autism. Bring your loved ones out. We're gonna educate, we're gonna entertain. This come on out.
It's going to be a day
A day of fun
of
for autism.
awareness, And the
Mm-hmm.
last thing I forgot to ask you, because you always have it at the middle school, so evidently you have some kind of association with the school system
Oh,
in
that's
order to.
that's the Finning Foundation.
Oh, that's the Finney Foundation. They have
That's
that.
the yeah. That's the Finning Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
because I was, and I had to ask this too. How are the schools as far as now? I think you told me one time she was in public school, or
yeah.
did they have a program in public school for?
She
Uh,
always was she always went to public school, but she was always in the CSAP program though.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Is
You
that a
know, it was
program that's still going on now, or?
I'm quite sure it is because
Mm,
back then it was the DAT Center.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm quite sure it still is. I I know that spot is still around.
yeah. I think they kind of incorporated in the schools now when they build a new,
Oh,
because
okay.
we're going to use the DAC Center for something else. But
Okay.
yeah, I think because I was a part of an organization that associated with some of the kids that were in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, that's the case. So
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna give a big shout out to the CSAP program because they work wonders with those kids. They work wonders. When I say, ooh, people are not. This is one thing I have to say. People out need to learn that it's more than autism is more than a label.
mm,
Autism just don't come as a person just having autism. Autism also have a lot of other disabilities with it. It ain't just autism. It's other stuff that come along with it.
yeah, I mean, with physical health
Yeah,
issues.
I mean it's a lot to it. It's a lot. It's like okay, so I'm gonna go back to when Shaquina was when she was younger. She didn't even know how to use her hands.
Mm,
It's just it's a lot. It's just a
mm,
lot. And they had to work. She had to have occupational therapy for that because she didn't know how to pick up stuff. It's a lot. It's more to it than what people think, than what they really know. It's more than the label. Trust me. It's a lot of disability that come along with it.
right.
A
And,
lot.
and and is there any medication that might be prescribed, when they have episodes, or you just have to live those out?
Oh, well, Shaquana, she take medications.
Mm,
Yeah, but it just that took years of getting the right kind of medication.
right, right.
Because they like to use people as guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So no, I ain't want my baby over drugged up neither. So
Hmm.
now I found out that what worked the best for her is to take the low amount of medications
Hmm.
instead of the higher amount of medication. Because the low amount of medication does her better.
Right.
Yeah, a lot better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes, you take certain medication and it can work against you, slows you down, and,
Right,
some things
right,
keeps you from being as active as you might be.
right.
And you need to be active, physically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's more than what the label is. It's a lot of different kind of complications that comes along with it, health wise. It is, it's a lot. A lot of them have diabetes. A lot of them have gut problems. That's real big in the autism community. Gut problems.
Yeah.
Because a lot
And
of
then
them
sometimes you have those problems and they might be in pain and maybe they can't communicate it as well. Especially if the programs are there for them and then you're not there, you have to have those people that can recognize those signs.
right, right about that, Miss James. You were so right about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a process, and you'll get there. And I think, and I'm gonna check with it's a professor of Norfolk State. I'm sure it's a major over there where uh, uh, that they have students that are taking in that within that nursing program
Mm-hmm.
that are focusing on autism or some form of that, and
Okay.
see if because see if you can get some of those students that might be in that field to come out to some of these events.
Yeah, that'll
You
be
know,
nice.
that might help because that's what they're doing, studying that, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm. That'll be nice.
I'll check with Dr. Duncan and see. And
Okay.
she's in the School of Psychology, so she deals with a lot of. If she knows, she's been on show. Next time I bring you on, hopefully she can come on too and
Okay. That'll be
be
nice.
a part of the conversation. So.
I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that.
All right, Cheryl, you stay up and we'll
You
see you
too.
Saturday and
Yes.
appreciate you. And I'm glad we finally got on. I'm glad we
Yeah.
didn't give up and say, hey, forget this. Sometimes you just have to be persistent. You have to stick with it,
That's
and
me though. That's
don't get
what I do.
frustrated. Right.
I don't give up easy.
How about that? It's good. It's important just to get the message out, even if it's
Right.
a little
Right.
late. But that's how it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be out there. All right,
That's
people, don't forget this Saturday at Churchland Middle School. Come on out. Uh, with the parents with adults with autism, and it'll be from 10 to 3. It'll start off with a walk, and then there'll be some entertainment. There'll be a band there. There'll be some dances. Get there early if you're hungry. If you don't get there early, make sure you stop and get yourself something to eat so you can walk. But have your walking shoes on and be ready to walk. And I'm gonna be out there with my camera. So if you got warrants on you, stay out the sight of my camera. Just joking. All right, people. Take care. We'll see you.
Thank you, Mr. James.
Thank you. Take
All
care.
right. See you
Be
Saturday.
good. I'll see you
Okay.
then. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.